Hello guys, welcome to my channel. This is the 29th tutorial in this course. In this tutorial we're going to talk about the for each loop in PHP. So the for each loop has been designed to work with arrays. So as an illustration, I'm going to work with an array and I'm going to call it ARR, and you can see that I've created on line number 7 in my script file, which is called foreach.php. And on line number 6 I have the opening PHP tag, and on line number 13 I have the closing PHP tag. So the array variable ARR has numbers, so it has 1, 4, 9, 16, 25 and 36 as the 6 elements, and the for each loop allows us to iterate over the elements in this array and display values, or if you want to perform some operations on the elements of the array, then that's possible too. So in this particular example we're just going to display the elements of the array, and to do that we'll type in for each. That's the word for and each, and there is no space between the two keywords, so it's for each. That's one single word, and then within parentheses we're first going to type in the name of our array variable, which is $ARR. That's what we've created on line number 7, and then we're going to type in another keyword called as, right? So for each and as, there are two keywords that you have to use with the for each loop, and then you have to pass in or type in a dummy variable. So what this is going to do is PHP is going to store the first element from this array in this variable for the first iteration. In the next iteration it's going to store the second element from the array in this variable. In the third iteration it's going to store in the third variable, and so on and so forth till it reaches the end of the array, right? So you could call this a dummy variable or a placeholder or whatever you want to call, and this is something that could be called anything. Like at the moment I've named it num. You could call it var, or anything. Like it could be called myvar or variable. You can give it any name, but the significance of this is that in each iteration of the loop it will have a different array element. And then inside the body of the for each loop I have an echo statement that's going to first display the text square, and that's because all these elements are squares of numbers. So 1 is a square of 1, 4 is a square of 2, 9 is a square of 3, 36 is a square of 6, right? And then I have the concatenation operator, and I've displayed the value that's there in the variable, in the dummy variable num. So in the first iteration it's going to display the text square colon 1. In the second it is going to display square colon 2. Third it's going to display square colon 9, and so on and so forth. And I also have echoed a break tag immediately after displaying the text, because I want the numbers and the text to be displayed on new lines. And you must have noticed that in this loop we do not have a statement that updates the value of any variable. So in this way it is different from the for loop as well as the while loop, because we're not updating any variable. For each loop has been designed to work with arrays, and it automatically moves on to the next element in the array, and we don't have to update anything. So I'll save the file, and in my browser I'll show you the output. I'll type in for each here, and when I press the enter key I see square 1 and square 4, square 9 up to square 36. So all the elements in the array have been displayed to us. So that's it about the for each loop. And the for each loop can also be used with associative arrays, and that's something that I could have covered in this tutorial as well, but I don't want this to be too long, so I'm going to discuss that in the next tutorial maybe. And I hope you guys had fun, and you may subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care.